Way back in the day, I served in the United States Marine Corps, and if there's a few things you're going to learn how to do if you're an active duty Marine, one, you're going to be able to polish a floor to a mirror shine. Two, you're going to know how to change a tire. Three, you're going to be able to iron a uniform. And four, you're going to learn how to do pull-ups. Pull-ups regularly. I like to do them with weights on my waist, and if you get to the point where you can add weights to yourself, to your pulls, it becomes a primary movement, and it can be one of the greatest exercises you can do to build a strong, thick back. A lot of guys that come to me with assistance for learning how to do pull-ups properly struggle with just doing one or two of them. Some of them are bigger guys, even really strong lifters that are over 300 pounds are going to struggle with doing a single pull-up because they're so heavy. I mean, it's exponentially more difficult if you're a bigger person, or perhaps maybe you just haven't done any training and you just got to get that upper body strength to the point where you can, do a couple sets. So before I do any kind of body movement like pull-ups, especially if I'm going to add weights to those sets, I like to start with a real basic warm-up that mimics the movement. So in this case, I will use my cable machine, and I'll just do a couple light sets of pull downs, or maybe some rows, just to get everything warmed up. Different ways to get to the point where you're strong enough to pull yourself up on a pull-up bar. I'm going to show you the 3 ways I was taught and what I've known to work for me, as well as some of the bigger guys that I've trained with that wanted to get to the point where they could do sets of pull-ups. The first is going to be a static hold. It's where you're going to use a box and you're going to pull yourself up, reverse or supinated, and you're just going to hold yourself in the upright position for as long as you can. And I'll usually set a timer with a targeted time, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, something along those lines. And we'll do sets like that. We'll just hold it as long as we possibly can. A lot of guys will just hold till failure. I like to use a timer because it is a way to add a measure of accountability. If you're, to make sure you're not cheating yourself. A lot of people struggle with when it starts burning, they'll give up, and that's not really going to failure. Failure is when your muscles no longer able to perform its function. You can't hold yourself up. So you definitely have to distinguish between the lactic acid burn and muscle failure, because there is a difference. The second way is we're going to do negatives. It's similar to the static holds. You would use a box to assist yourself up and get in the upright position, and then you're going to time yourself and slowly drop. And usually I start with 10 to 15 seconds for people that just cannot hold their body weight up. But then we'll work our way up to 30-second negatives. If you can do that, you're well on your way to being able to perform a pull-up. The third and final way is using a resistance band. We'll loop it around the top of the pull-up bar, and then we'll loop our feet into it, and as we release our weight from the bar, it stretches the band out as you're going down. You're basically standing on the band, and that band effectively takes weight off your body, so it lowers the amount of weight that you have to pull. And if you use a heavy resistance band, it can take, 30 to 60 pounds off of your total weight, depending, and it might make it easier for some people to start getting sets of pull-ups in, and then over time you can lower the resistance bands that you're using, effectively increasing your weight as you go. And that's the same principle essentially as doing weighted pull-ups. So when you get to the point where you can pull yourself up regularly, and you can do sets of 5, 10, whatever, 15, now you're ready to maybe consider adding weight around your waist and increasing the amount that you're pulling, which is really when you'll be able to unlock the power of this exercise. Is to be able to hold that static hold for about 30 seconds. If you're getting to the point where you can hold it for a minute, you are probably at the point where you're ready to actually start doing pull-ups. But 30 seconds is a good beginner goal. You might only be able to hold them for a couple of seconds. You can get to the point where you can do 5-second count. You can start doing sets of 5, 10, and the goal is to get to the point where maybe you can do a 30-second one. When you get to that point, you're probably strong enough to start doing actual pull-ups. This last variation, using the resistance bands, is kind of fun. I still do these, even though I can do pull-ups with weights around my waist. Essentially, I just loop a resistance band around the bar, and I'll put it on the standing pegs so that I can get into it. You can stand up on the peg, pull it off, get your feet into it. Now this resistance band takes weight off of you, and it'll make it really easy to just do pull-ups. If you're real heavy, you can put more than one band around there. And then as you get stronger, you can lessen the resistance by using lighter bands. And then eventually you can start doing regular pull-ups. And then you can incorporate these into your normal routine if your goal is to maybe do some higher rep work at, or reverse pyramids or deload sets, that sort of thing. So they come in handy. So, assuming you've incorporated that into your routine, you should be to the point within a couple of months where you can do a set of pull-ups. Now I want to show you a variety of different ones that I like to do. I'll do wide grip which really targets the lats. I'll do an intermediate grip, which really, you know, with a little bit of an angle, which really hammers your entire back. Sometimes I'll lift my legs up, which you know, involves your core. I'll do supinated grip, which hits the biceps. I'll do a neutral grip, which really hammers the forearms. I do pull-ups every week. I love them. They're super effective. Let me show you some of the different ones I like to do. Kick things up a notch. Previously I made a video on doing weighted dips and skull crushers, and I went over how to make a weight belt out of rope and carabiners. If you guys have a belt that's designed to hold weights around your waist, awesome. You can put chains around your neck. But for this video, I'm going to use my creation. We're going to do a few sets with increasingly more weight. See what it looks like. Fortunate enough to have a dip pull-up bar combination rack like I have, one really good thing that you can take advantage of is using bands to increase tension as you do your pull-ups. Now, bands differ from adding weight in the fact that as they stretch, it gets harder. So there's more resistance at the top than there is at the bottom. So that's really awesome if you're trying to train your top end. Say you're one of those big guys that you can get started on a pull-up, but you just can't seem to get your chin over the bar. This will help train your top end strength. You can even, if you wanted to add a level of complexity to your lift, you could even combine a resistance band with weight to where it's heavy at the bottom and it increasingly gets more difficult as you pull. Let me demonstrate. So I'm just going to loop this around the handles like that. I'm just going to slip it over my neck and perform a pull-up. So it gets really difficult at the top. Now I'm going to add that with a weight around my belt and show you what that looks like. And that's how I train with pull-ups. I do them regularly. I do them every back day. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'll just come out and crank out a few sets. If you're limited in equipment and space, it's really easy to find something you can do pull-ups on. You can go to the park and you can do them on the jungle gym sets. You can find a tree with a low-hanging branch. You can do them from the rafters in the trusses in your garage. It's just a really easy thing that most people can incorporate into their daily routine. Of some people that I know that primarily do just body weight exercises, do nothing but variations of pull-ups, dips, push-ups, body squats. They're great. I think that they definitely qualify as a prime movement, especially if you are able to add some weight or resistance to your pulls. I think if you just did weighted pull-ups by themselves in consistency, you would build an awesome thick back, and one that you could be proud of. And I think that no matter what your sport, everybody could benefit from doing these. It definitely translates to real world strength situations. You never know in an emergency when you have to be able to pull yourself over something, and it's just good to be able to move your body through space. If you found this video to be helpful, do me a favor, throw me a subscription, a like, share the video. I'm trying to develop a channel. I'm really new at this. I'm not that good at it. I enjoy doing it, and my goal is to just share what I know with average everyday people that are just trying to get into shape. Maybe the gyms are starting to open back up again, so a lot of people are going to be going back to their gyms, and that's cool because all of this stuff you can do whether you have a gym or not. But specifically, it's if you don't have access to good equipment, I want to help people get it done with whatever they have, and this is one of the best ones. So thanks for watching. Throw me a comment. Let me know what you if there's something specific you want me to cover. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. If you guys are online and you're looking at other programs, or you see some stuff that looks interesting to you and you want to know my opinion on it, especially in this day and age, there's a ton of fitness stuff online, and some of it's really good information and some of it's not. I was watching this guy named V-Shreds, and I was watching some of his videos, and my thought was, here's a guy with a huge marketing team behind him, and he's got awesome production, and his videos are not only bad information, but I would even consider them to some degree harmful. We can talk about stuff like that. If you want my opinion on other lifters, there's this guy I've been watching lately. His name's Johnny Shreve. I think he's awesome. He's like my new favorite lifting channel. Greg Doucette. There's a couple others. I love watching them. I think that they have awesome information, and they even help me be a better lifter. If you want to talk about things of that nature, if you guys want to talk about supplementation, you want to talk about whatever the topic is, just shoot me a message, and maybe we can make a video about it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I believe the next video I'm going to make is going to be focused on different squat variations that you can do with a partner. So husband and wives out there, I'm cooking up something special for you guys, and it's mostly meant to be kind of a fun thing. It's not really a serious training video, just a way that you can get your partner training with you and maybe have a little bit of fun together. So anyway, stay posted.